In 1517, Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to the door of a church in Germany, not because he had stopped believing in God, but because he had stopped believing in the institution built around God. He stayed within Christianity. He just couldn't stay within the system anymore. In Soviet Russia, millions of citizens continued attending Orthodox church services in secret, not out of deep conviction, but out of cultural habit, family tradition, and a fear of losing something they couldn't name. And in modern-day surveys across the United States and Europe, a significant portion of people who regularly attend religious services describe themselves privately as non-believers or deeply uncertain about their faith. They show up anyway. They sing the hymns, they bow their heads, they say the words, and nobody asks why. This video is about why. For most people, there isn't a single dramatic moment where faith disappears. It's quieter than that. It's a Sunday morning where the sermon feels hollow for the first time. A prayer that goes unanswered one too many times. A question nobody around you seems willing to honestly answer. A moment of reading, or loss, or simply growing up, where something that once felt certain starts to feel like a story you were told before you were old enough to choose. And then comes the strange part. You stop believing, but you keep going. You keep attending, keep participating, keep performing the rituals. And if someone asks you directly whether you believe, you pause just a little too long before you answer. That pause is what this video is about. Psychologists have identified several deeply human reasons why people remain inside religious systems they no longer believe in. The first is identity. For most people, religion isn't just a set of beliefs. It's the architecture of who they are, the community they grew up in, the framework through which every major life event, birth, marriage, death, has been processed and given meaning. To leave isn't just to change your mind about theology. It's to dismantle a significant part of yourself. The second is belonging. Leaving means potentially losing your friendships, your family's approval, your social support network, and in some cultures, your entire place in the community. For many people, that cost outweighs the discomfort of staying somewhere they no longer fully believe. The third is sunk cost. You have spent years, sometimes decades, inside this system, built your moral framework around it, raised children inside it. The sunk cost fallacy tells your brain that leaving now means all of that was wasted. And so you stay, not because you believe, but because leaving would force you to confront how long you have been living without fully believing. The fourth is fear, not just social fear, existential fear. Many religious systems are built around answers to the deepest human questions. What happens when we die? Whether life has meaning? Whether we are loved by something larger than ourselves? To leave is to give back those answers without a guaranteed replacement. And for many people, the uncertainty on the other side is more terrifying than the dishonesty of staying. Psychologists call the discomfort of holding two contradictory beliefs simultaneously cognitive dissonance. Leon Festinger first described this in 1957. He found that when people hold beliefs that contradict their behavior, the brain experiences genuine psychological discomfort. And rather than changing the behavior, most people quietly adjust their internal narrative instead. They tell themselves they're going for their family, for the community, for the tradition. The behavior stays the same, the justification changes. Festinger also studied a doomsday cult whose members believed the world would end on a specific date. When nothing happened, most members became more committed, not less, because leaving would mean admitting they were wrong. And the brain will do almost anything to avoid that. Here's where it stops being about religion. Think about any system you belong to that you have privately questioned but never left. A political party, a relationship you have outgrown, a career you chose at 22 that no longer reflects who you are, a worldview inherited from your parents that you have never seriously examined. The psychology is identical. Identity, belonging, sunk cost, fear of the void on the other side. Humans don't stay in things because they believe in them. They stay because leaving requires them to become someone they don't yet know how to be. Nobody chooses what they are born into. You didn't choose the religion, the language, the community, the framework of meaning handed to you before you could walk. And the people who stay, who show up every week and bow their heads and say the words, they aren't weak, they aren't stupid, they aren't simply lying to themselves. They are doing what humans have always done, holding on to the people, to the rituals, to the feeling of belonging to something larger than themselves, even when the belief is gone, maybe especially then.